We are back in the building, family. Welcome back to another edition of Techniche Tips. I'm your host, Joseph M. Smith, and I don't got one. I don't got two. Actually, I do got two. I got Nikki and Kourtney in the building. Oh man, this is a long time coming. Let me just stop right now. Stop the presses, because I just want to kind of just thank, first of all for tuning in today. I want to go to the comment section real quickly before we get started. I got Operation Tech Takeover. Peace and blessings, brother. So glad you are in the building. And I have, not only do I have him as well, I do have, let me stop right here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're on LinkedIn. The QA portion exclusively on YouTube, so he is not telling any lies. That is the truth. And I got Mitch here. Hope the lemonade is not ready for the juice. Mitch, you are hilarious. I have Adiola as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. And y'all are talking about juices here. What's going on? Watermelon and mango by Minute Maid. Okay. Mitch said, man, it was good. Throw that watermelon in the trash. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you tune in from LinkedIn, let us know in the comment section below. And I just wanted to say thank you so much. Again, this is going to be amazing. If you've been following this channel for a while, I want to just say we had both an interview with Nikki and Kourtney separately. When it came to Nikki, honestly, it's the large. Yeah, the most viewed interview I've ever had with Nikki. And so that was a great conversation. That was a great time. He was equally bringing that sauce. I remember the comment section was going crazy. So it's so good to have everybody back for this time here at Techniche Tip. But go ahead, if you want to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, like we always say, thank you so much. We definitely appreciate it for sure. So as you can see that at the bottom, that I want to let you just know, thank you so much. This is going to be a great time. This is going to be a wonderful time. Oh, what up, Brandy Jones? Brandy's in the building. She says, I'm excited, and I just can't hide it. so glad to have Brandy in the building. And then, yes, we also have Scott as well saying hello. And then I have a Notary World saying hi, everyone. So hello. This is going to be a blast. And I know that a lot of people are so excited to be able to speak with both of you. So this is good, but there's a lot that we need to talk about, right? Because you both have done a lot since the last time I spoke with you. And I'm going to read some of the highlights of 2023. For Nikki, nominated for the NOLA Tech 30 Award for the second year for her impactful contributions to the tech community. Also recently recognized as one of LinkedIn's top 50 creators of color in 2023. Hey. The Power 50. Come on. Let's shout that out. Oh, yeah. Boy, but Kourtney has been Carmen Sandiego as well. Recently spoke at the Regal Resilience Tech Dazzle in Miami, sharing my story of resilience and faith. That's a big deal. Oh, my goodness gracious. Also participated in the CEO School Summit by Suneera Madhani, where typically 6 to 7 figure founders participate. So this is not small feats, ladies. How did you manage to do all that in just a year?
God.
Right.
Number one.
Start there.
And resilience. Like that's like the word, right?
Yeah.
Definitely resilience. We have a wonderful community, and shout out to the SaaS celebrities. It's just been an incredible year. Like we were reflecting, during this new year on, all that has transpired, because you can get caught up in the like day to day of everything and the overwhelm of trying to build businesses, but it's so important to like self-reflect and take the time to press in and just we just talked and was like, look at all that we've done. You know, I'm so proud of us, and you know, just super thankful to the Lord for giving us the strength and you know, to endure the trials that come with with building and the support that we've had, especially like with you, brother Joseph. Man, you have been such a big supporter of everything we've done. So thank you to you and your audience. You know, it's been an incredible year for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing those kind sentiments. I definitely appreciate that. I'm going to pass the floor to you, Kourtney. How did you do it? I know you kind of said it earlier, the number one reason. But I would love for you to talk a little bit more about, like, man, that's a pretty amazing year.
Yeah, again, just piggybacking off what Nikki said, thank you, because I think that you have been an instrumental part of our growth in the last year indefinitely. Like we owe you a lot more than we probably get to verbalize. So we are very appreciative of you. But it's definitely resilience. And I think also you know this about me, but I'm a huge advocate of shooting your shot. Like this all the time, especially when you're afraid and you may not be qualified. Like, you know, the opportunity with Suneera happened because she was doing, it's called CEO School. Now she's the founder of Stacks Payments, which is a fintech company who had $1 billion valuation. Ooh. And she's based out of Orlando, and she was doing this retreat. And I just was like, I'm just going to reach out to her. Like, I'm just going to reach out to her. And it was typically reserved for 6 and 7 figure founders, you know, so they're already a little more established. For people who are not in the like startup space, right? We are just starting. So we're what's considered pre-revenue company. So we don't have any money, basically is what that means. We don't have any money yet. And so, you know, she was like, I think it would be great for you to come and be a part of this if you know, so see. Wow. And so it's just the power of taking a chance and just, you don't know. It's like the answer is always no if you don't make the ask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the word for the year is audacity, you know, like having the audacity to, you know, just put yourself out there, you know, because you never know. You like you were saying, like if you don't shoot your shot, it's going to be a no every time because you only need one yes, right? So.
Yeah. Wow. I like that audacity.
Yeah.
You have the audacity to ask me for this. And it's like, yeah, I do actually.
Right.
Oh man. So let me just stay on here for one more moment. And before I do, let me just remind those that are brand new to this channel. What we're going to do is we're going to have this first portion of the conversation be about everything that has happened in regards to Nikki and Kourtney's lives in 2023. And then by halfway in, we are going to transition over to YouTube exclusively. So if you look down below at the ticker, go to youtube.com/@Techniche tips. If you do have questions for our guests, they'll be happy to oblige and ask and answer any questions that you have. And before we even get there, I'm gonna go to the comment section from Operation Tech Takeover. He says, I swear this is amazing. 3 of my idols all in one show. I'm blessed to know all 3 of you, and I'm pumped for this episode. Joseph, you are a real one for this. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate that. I idolize the Lord because all I could do is point you to some people that I think are awesome, you know, and that's pretty much all I could do, you know. Exactly. But let's talk about it right there, because oftentimes we see the especially on Instagram. If we're on the gram, if we are on social media, we see the highlights of entrepreneurship, but not a lot of people talk about the lowlights. And I wanted to just give you that platform, the opportunity to talk about all the things that people may see behind the scenes or may not know behind the scenes that you're going through. Can you just shed a light on those moments where you're like, man, I don't know if we're going to make it?
Kourtney, want to kick us off with that?
Kourtney says it all.
Yeah.
You know, as a mom and a wife, you know, I have to leave a lot. I've been leaving and traveling a lot to go to different places, do different appearances, you know, pitch competitions are coming up, like things like that. And that's just really stressful for our family. We don't have a ton of support. So for us, it's even more so. And then also really the mental battles that you go through on a daily basis, because you don't see the results right? It's like you're in the work. And so a lot of times it just feels like you're going through mud and nothing is happening. And there's doubt and there's so much fear. And you're like, am I making the right decisions? And is this really going to do what I need? And then I swear, like, God will give us a God wink.
Oh my gosh.
It's been like a family that reached out and said, we're so grateful that you're creating this. You know, we're happy. Like, we're so happy that you're going to share our stories and that you're doing something for people who don't feel heard and seen. And it is so like all these comments, you know, people who are saying this, like, you guys give us equally as much motivation and inspiration, because it's so hard as two Black women founders who have nothing, who've started from the absolute bottom.
Yeah.
And on the other side of that, it's like the most incredible thing, because what we're able to do with nothing, we just know that if we keep sowing, that eventually, like, we will
reap. 100%. 100%. And I agree with everything she said. You know, from my perspective, you know, I just have to say, you know, thank you to Kourtney, because there's been times where I think it's a beautiful thing having a partner, you know what I'm saying? Because there's those low moments where you feel overwhelmed. Because, you know, I work a full-time job, and I tell people all the time, I'm working a full-time job and then another full-time job after, you know, like I'm, you know, hustling at work in tech sales, because you know how that is. You know, it's a hustle, it's a lot of pressure. And then, you know, afterwards, you know, we're building, you know, not one startup business, but two. We are crazy. Okay. So it's been taxing in that way, but it's also been so rewarding. And, you know, it feels like, you know, when I'm having a low moment, you know, Kourtney's there to support me and give me an encouraging word, and vice versa, you know, for her when she's having rough times. So I'm so thankful to have her to lean on in those moments. And we, you know, whenever there issue arises, you know, we just put our heads together and, you know, look to God for guidance and come up with a solution for the things that we've been through. Because it's definitely been taxing. I have an elderly father that I take care of. He's actually in the hospital right now, literally right now. Getting ready to have a procedure. I'm going to be heading right over there as soon as we get off. So, you know, there's always things, personal things in your life that's going on simultaneously. But when you're walking in purpose, and when you know that it's, you know, God-given, it's, you know, he didn't say it was going to be easy, you know, but at the end of it, you don't know the rippling effects of the work that you do, you know? So when I see people reach out to me on LinkedIn or whatever platform and, you know, and let me know, hey, I landed that job, I don't look at it like, you know, I'm giving people tips and advice to help them in their careers solely, because they have there's a why behind that, right?
Yeah.
You know, it might, like yourself, when I first met you, Joseph, like one of the first things you told me when we were talking, you were like going through the interview process, and you were like, man, I have several children. I have a large family. I have a baby, and where I'm currently at is just not going to take care of us. And that is such a difficult position to be in. And, you know, I'm not a parent yet, but I have 5 nephews, and they, you know, I want to make sure I'm creating a legacy for my family. And so it goes far beyond just helping somebody get a job, because at the end of the day, you know, we need income and opportunity to be able to take care of our families and provide opportunities. And so I'm looking at it like I'm just being the hands and feet of God, because he knows all of those back end stories behind every person that I sit down and talk to, that I'm there to help. So as I'm moving forward, I'm always reaching back to put people on in my community. That's what I'm about. And that's what really keeps us going in those times of difficulty, for sure.
Man, I love it. I love the transparency. I love the honesty. And y'all, audience, keep it coming. The comments are excellent. So if you have anything you love to share, if you want to put your questions in now, we'll get to them later in the Q&A section for sure. But thank you so much. Nikki, I'm going to ask you a question. And then actually after this, we could talk about missing pizza, because you kind of alluded to that just now in regards to the people saying thank you. But I remember our conversation, that interview that we had, one of my favorite conversations that I ever had. And you talked about your mother, and you talked about the tenacity that she had. Like, what lessons that you can remember learning from your mother and just being her daughter that you're able to lend to your entrepreneurship journey. Can you talk about that? I would just love to hear that side of it if you can.
Yeah, for sure. I think I take Phyllis with me in everything I do. Like she's my heart, and I just always reflect on like, how proud she would be of me and how far I've come. Because I was like that kid that didn't really, know like what I wanted to do or be per se. When I was growing up, like people like, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be this and that. I wasn't sure. I just had a lot of giftings, and my mom always like encouraged me to be able to seek that out and allow life to come to me and unfold as it was supposed to. And like one of her life mottos that I literally take with me everywhere I go, I say it all the time, whatever it is that God has for you is for you. So I can walk into pretty much any situation, even if I'm fearful and naturally scared of it, and just do it scared because, it's not me. It's not my words. I'm just a vessel of, whatever God wants to speak through me. And I'm not walking it alone, and it's always going to end up working out for my good and in my favor at the end of the day. So if it is a letdown, if it is a setback, if it is a disappointment, and we've gotten plenty of those, we've heard so many no's at this point. I think it just builds up that resilience. It builds up that tough skin where it's like, it's just that yes is around the corner, that closed doors, an open window somewhere else. And, I know that at the end of the day, I have all that I need. I have all the tools in my toolbox to accomplish the task and fulfill the purpose that God has planned for me from the beginning. And so I'm just taking that next step, that next breadcrumb, picking it up and building upon that foundational belief, and that's core for me. That's like my core belief that I take with me every day. And that's something that she taught me. And I watched my mom, my mom was such an impactful person. She was like a room shifter, like she would come in a room and everyone would look and pay attention because she had something that was literally spiritual, I believe. And, she battled with cancer 3 times. Wow, and yeah. she was so passionate about what she did for helping those children. She was a teacher for special education specifically. So she had a heart for that audience, for those children who people would, not care for or toss to the side or didn't think they would be able to make something of themselves. She cared for those people, and she would go to work sick. She was a musician, and she taught children to sing in a choir. She would drive 3 hours to my aunt's church faithfully after, having radiation and vomiting and all the horrible things that come with suffering with cancer, and would drive there because she was so dedicated to that cause and that purpose. So it's like, I want to take that with me for the rest of my life. This is purpose work, and it's not easy, but the reward is so wonderful. I get so much joy, from seeing people watch their journey from the beginning to the end, like seeing where you've come from, like from our conversations and the advice that I gave you, like a year ago or 2 years ago. Yeah. It's been wonderful to see how far you've come. And those are the things that, keep you going. And so
I just want to add something to that too, Nikki,
because
one of the things I think I was having a conversation with Suneera at that event, and she was like, how many people are not going to achieve their dreams and change their families' lives if you guys don't change yours and if you don't keep going? And I was like, oh,
that's it.
You're right.
Come on,
that's it right there.
You're right. And that is so helpful in those hard moments. It really, really is more than I think I could even truly describe, because there's really hard moments. There's really, really difficult moments. Tears, like, why am I doing this? Why are we doing this?
Oh man, I definitely can hear it. I can sense it. There's things that a lot of people don't know behind the scenes that entrepreneurs like yourself, people that are tech founders that are building, and they just assume like, yeah, everything is gravy. But when they could see this side, when they can hear this side, then they know, man, it's not easy. And so I would just encourage the audience, even though we probably could say this at the end, but I'm gonna say it right now. If Kourtney or Nikki come on your mind, if missing piece or hope dealers come in your mind, we're going to talk about that in a few in case you're not familiar with that. Go ahead, send them an encouraging note. Say, hey, where's the cash at? What can I slip to you? Right? Do whatever you can that you possibly can in your capabilities to do to support these women as they're pursuing what they're pursuing. And I got, and also my way of showing support right now is a shout out Sam. I was gonna ask you if he's okay with that. But Kourtney, I'll just do it. Sam is Kourtney's husband. He's been holding it down, and I just want to shout you out, brother. I appreciate you. It's not easy. You know, we actually had a conversation on our last interview, Kourtney, about how many children we both have, and it was almost neck and neck. I think I'm beating you right now, but it was almost neck and neck. So the fact that you don't have that much support and you have a husband that is holding it down like that, listen, I'm giving him his flowers right now. I'm giving his flowers right now. And I'm going to go to Scott real quickly because he said this and I want everybody to hear it. You two are a great compliment to each other. The way you feed off each other and add to each other's answers is amazing to watch. I miss watching the lives with you too.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you so much.
So definitely and actually this is going to lead to my next question for you, Kourtney. This is in regards to missing piece. We're going to switch it up a little bit because you already talked about that family that said thank you for doing this. You already talked about Suneera, who basically says you have to continue going, and specifically you did the missing piece app. It's in development right now. You completed a 13-week accelerator program with Ideas Village, Idea Institute, and NOLA. There's so much you guys did working on this particular thing that I just want to take the time to just kind of shine a light on missing piece and give you, Kourtney, the opportunity to talk about it a bit for the audience who may not be aware of all that you're doing in this space.
Yeah. So we did, like you said, we completed this 13-week accelerator with Idea Village. It was based out of NOLA, and we were really blessed with just it built a very supportive network of entrepreneurs and people who are also in our corner who believe in us. 100%. One of the definite setbacks in that as well was we were really convinced that we were going to be able to pitch, and we were like, yeah, we're going to get it. Like, it's fine.
100%. And we just knew
story time. We had to turn in this 5-minute pitch with our pitch deck, and which is basically like a presentation for people who aren't familiar, like a presentation demonstrating all of like what we're doing, right? And I had a horrible migraine, of course, like 2 hours before we had to have it turned in. And when I get migraines, like I don't know if anyone else ever had a migraine. I'm taken out. Like I have to turn off all the lights. Sometimes I could like vomit. Like it is really, really, really bad. And I was like, Nikki, we have to do this. We have to do it. We have to get it turned in. It doesn't really matter. And so I was crying through us. Yes. Nikki was like so incredible. How she is at coaching is like so 100% how she is all the time. And she's like, Kourtney, listen, just type one more thing. Like just do one more, just add one else. Like in the dark, crying, just adding to this, pausing. We ended up getting it submitted, and I was like, woohoo. I wasn't happy with the final product because I wasn't myself. You know, I was in really a lot of pain, and so it just didn't translate. But nonetheless, we got denied, and so it was really hard. That was a hard moment because we felt like we were there. But on the other side of that, it was an opportunity for us to get feedback and to grow, and and they really believe in us. So so many opportunities that have come now from that. So Missing Piece is going to be the first centralized software application that will allow families to receive diagnosis, treatment, and community resources for families with autism. And you had mentioned before, right? Like sending us like an encouraging word or, shooting us some cash if you want, that's also fine. But the other things that would really be helpful for us is if you know a family who wants to share their story, who has a child on the autism spectrum, if they're an adult on the autism spectrum, if they're a special education provider or occupational therapists, doctors, right? Different providers that are in that space, or like regional directors or people in autism foundations. Those introductions are incredibly valuable for us at this stage and at this point. So, we can, those are all valuable things. It doesn't have to be a monetary thing at all by any means. So,
but we're not gonna say no, because we literally we're at the stage that we do need funding. That's literally where we are. I'm not. Yes, but
yes, of course, we need money. You need money, and there's from $1 billion founder who said it, like, revenue solves all problems.
All the problems.
So I'm gonna go with that for sure. You can see the missingpieceapp.com. You can reach us there. You'll see a little bit more about us and our mission and what we're doing. We really want to get 1 million families access to the resources that they need.
Yes.
This is amazing.
And throughout their life too. That's one of the things that is beautiful about it. Like we want to catch people early, and that, because the stats are like crazy. It takes people so long to get their children diagnosed. But, we've talked to adults with autism. It's not like it goes away. You know what I'm saying? So, the needs of a 3-year-old are very different from a 33-year-old, So we want to be able to, like, cover the lifetime of the individuals, so it's a really important endeavor for us. We have a heart for it. Like, I just found out that my little cousin, was recently diagnosed. And so it really hits home. And I'm also a neurodivergent person myself. So it really is, this is a heart thing for us. So it's really purpose work, like we were saying before.
Yeah.
And in full transparency too, I've been in the field. So if you've been following us, you knew, like, I was a behavior analyst before. I worked with individuals from 2 to 22, and my baby, I'm actually taking him to get further evaluated because I've noticed some things, and there was a lot of denial. So it's like I experienced autism as a provider, but potentially as a parent, I don't know for sure, right? I'm not sure, but we're taking the steps to, get him further evaluated. And just seeing that is also so helpful, because we called somewhere for, like, a speech evaluation. They had a 2-year wait list. Like, how can people, and we have insurance, we're able to take him to go and get evaluated further. So it's just like, it's been, a really uphill battle, but we also know that no one's listening. No one's listening to these families. No one's wanting to share who they are and find a solution that is really going to change their lives and their families' lives. Like Nikki was saying, like, we don't want to just meet them where they are currently. We want to be able to grow with them, and also really look at the family holistically, so that we can come in and create a solution for the entire family, because everyone is being impacted, right? We've had families tell us how it impacts their marriages, how it's affecting the rest of the children's relationship dynamics, because all their focus has to go to the one child. And obviously, most of the time, the moms are the ones who quit working. So now you're talking about a huge financial impact.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
It spans far beyond what you think, even like the older adults with it. Like, some people, they can't drive, so they may have to live with their parents for the rest of their lives, and that becomes taxing on a family. So, we want to meet people where they are and, like, hear their hearts. And, we like to say that they're building this with us, so that's why, like, the funding aspect is important, so that we can make sure that as we release the product, that it really suits the needs, and that it can grow with the people that we're trying to make this change for and help. So,
and if you are here and you're an investor, or somebody who an investor and are open to making that introduction, primarily, you want somebody. We're looking for people who invest in, like, healthcare technology or the healthcare space or software. Pre-revenue, pre-seed stage companies. That's ideally, who we would like to, or if there's an accelerator that of, that is, like, those are all helpful, but our definite
app developer.
Definitely we need a developer, but our 2 main goals this year are finding technical talent to add to our team, and beginning our venture capital, like beginning fundraising.
Yeah, and technical, I mean, like it sounds like, and you're talking about like developers, people of that nature that can really help build this thing out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that this definitely needs to be something that we highlight. I know everybody wants to hear more about the SDR to tech founder journey, which is great, but we need to focus in on the things that are important. And like Nikki, like you said, this is purpose work. It
Yeah,
is not easy, but it is worth it, like you said earlier.
100%.
And so we definitely want to do that. And the reason why I stopped here is because if you go to the missingpieceapp.com, and you scroll all the way down to where it says meet the founders driving change, right there on the bottom, you could see that says share your story. Go ahead and click that link if you do have a story that you want to share in regards to somebody that family member, a child. Even myself, we had to take our second youngest to get into early intervention to make sure, like, he had speech delays. There are a few things that we were kind of concerned about.
Yeah.
And with early intervention, we started seeing a huge change, in regards to comprehension and understanding, and not and the tantrums didn't take over. You know what I mean? It was more like he was able to communicate. But oftentimes, depending on where you live, like Kourtney said, you don't get these resources right away. You're on a waiting list, and this is why something like this is so important, because this would cut down that waiting list. Period.
Provide that access that they may not be privy to. Like, for example, when I was talking about my cousins, they live in a rural area. They don't have access to a lot of resources, and they have to drive like an hour and a half to the nearest large city to get support and access to resources for my little cousin. And that's difficult. They were really sharing how difficult and how taxing that is. They're like, he's about to run out of services and we don't know what to do next. So it's very impactful. So this is going to be a big thing that is far reaching. And so it takes time to build, and we're patient with it because we know that God is going to provide the increase, and it's going to help a lot of people.
Amen to that. Amen to that. With that, I'm going to switch over to the comment section real quickly, because this one was a comment from Darcel that I wanted to highlight. He was like, I always feel I want to help the next generation go further than us. Also, family is the number one motivation, especially having parents to influence you to be strong. Keep going, ladies.
All right. Thank you.
And then we have Dermond. He said, he just wanted to clap it up, because I thought this was really, really good. Oh man, there's so much to be said. And with that being said, we're gonna look at your background real quickly. It says Hope Dealers. And for those that don't know, Hope Dealers is a company that they also launched. I tell you, the Carmen San Diego, right? Where in the world is Kourtney and Nikki? Probably launching their website that's gonna be released in February. So you're gonna want to check that out in February. Basically, they established partnerships with community colleges such as LaGuardia Community College, bringing interns on board last March or this March coming up. Yeah. And there's so much. Yeah. I know. I just like, if you could come now, come hither. But this has been so good. I'm looking at all the stuff you guys did. The primary focus this year is partnering with higher education, tech boot camps, and nonprofits like Covenant House. Oh, shout out to Covenant House for sure, for supporting homeless youth, formerly incarcerated individuals, and teen parents. Like, y'all are really trying to provide that hope for others. And for those that don't know, could you just kind of give a quick synopsis of what Hope Dealers exactly is? Either yourself, Nikki, or Kourtney could respond to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and like play our little video in the background while I'm speaking on that, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right. Give me one sec. Get that going.
But yeah, and while Nikki, while you're doing that, I'm gonna let Kourtney speak a little bit about it, so you could talk a little bit about Hope Dealers and everything you guys got going on.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's important to also note that, a lot of the reasons why came from pain that we experience ourselves. I was in foster care as a child. Like, my mother was murdered. I was also a teen mom, and my dad was in prison for 20 years. And so essentially what my whole thing, and obviously we both lost our mothers, is any of those kind of places that were painful, we have a heart to try to alleviate that for people. And so Hope Dealers has come from that place, really, is that we wanted to be a place that we're really giving hope and creating partnerships based around that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hope Dealers it essentially stemmed from, you know, the coaching and mentorship that we have been doing over like pretty much ever since we got into the tech industry. Like I said before, like I've always been a person who, you know, has wanted to, like, if I'm on, I'm putting my people on. Like that's just who I am. And so I started just, you know, coaching and mentoring people. It started with like just my friends and people that I knew who were intelligent. And I was like, if I can do this, y'all can do this. Okay. Like Justin and Atia, and look how far they have come. Like, oh my gosh, you, just people that I've, you know, given tips to and helped along the way. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. But you know, it started from there, and then it started to get taxing. if I'm honest, all those one-to-ones after working a full day. And you know, me and Kourtney, I was like, I need your help, sis. Like, so she was helping me do coaching and stuff, and then it got to a point where it was just a lot, and we wanted to reach more people. And Kourtney was like, let's scale this thing. You know, this is, you know, we have to scale it. We have to figure out a way to impact more people and reach more people. So essentially that's where it started. And we were like, okay, let's do a course. You know, we went through a boot camp. That's how we met. And what we were finding was this gap in the market. Like so many people were reaching out and saying, I just finished this boot camp. I just finished that boot camp. And, you know, but I don't know how to do my resume. And I don't know how to interview. And I don't know what to do with my LinkedIn. And so we were like, okay, I was starting to notice the repetitive nature of the needs that people were telling us. And I was like, so why don't we just create a course that kind of would go in tandem with that education, so that people can have the next steps and get that education on how to do that resume, how to make sure your LinkedIn is tight and right, because LinkedIn is pretty much like your digital resume. Recruiters go straight to it to get a little bit more in-depth information about you, how to you know, present yourself, how to network, how to you know, your brand, you know what I'm saying, your professional brand, and how to advance your career, how to negotiate your salary. Things like that are so important. And it's like you're so focused so much like in the boot camps on how to do the skill set, they kind of gloss over that aspect of it. But you got to get the bag at the end of the day. Like you have to get the job, you have to land a job. And, you know, tech interviews are like so different than, you know, the types of interviews I had done in my previous life. I had like maybe 1-2 interviews and I was in there. Man, some of these tech interviews in the tech industry are like 6 interviews, different types of interviews. And it can be very overwhelming for people who are maybe career transitioners and have never, you know, encountered such things. Or in addition to that, once you do land the job, you have like all this imposter syndrome that you're dealing with. I know I dealt with it. And, you know, I love to help people. And Kourtney shares this with me, to help people figure that out and to be confident, you know, as they're going into seeking out their careers and their next steps. So that's essentially where it came from. And we've been working really, really hard on pulling all the materials together for building this course out. We were like visionaries in that sense. We were like, oh yeah, we will have this done in like 2 months. No, it takes a lot to build out curriculum. It's a lot. And so, but we're pretty much at the end of the road now, finally. Thank you, God. So we're going to be launching really, really soon in the next coming weeks. And so we want to be able to offer to people who want to early register or, you know, pre-register for some of those things to get early access to the course. You know, you can, if y'all are interested, you can put hashtag Hope 2024 in there, and then we will, or email us at info@hopedealers.io and just send us over your email and your information, and we'll be reaching out with that early access link. And with that, if you register for the course, you'll get a free one-to-one with Kourtney and I in tandem with doing the, and it's about 4 weeks to get through all of the material. You'll have access to, you know, additional things like templates for resumes and how to do chat GPT prompts to help you build out your resume. Also, it comes with, so it's jam-packed with so much great information to kind of help you along that journey. And you'll be able to get some additional one-to-one coaching with us just from coming on the platform with Techniche in addition to that. So we're really, really excited. It's been a long journey to get to where we are. And we know it's going to help a lot of people land those jobs and get the bag, basically, to make an impact for their family. You want to add anything else, Kourtney?
Yeah, I think that what we're trying to create, is we don't want to be gatekeepers.
Exactly.
It's like the big thing to us is we want to give you guys real shit.
Like,
Okay.
yeah,
We want to tell you
access.
real information and things that we're learning, some of it in real time, and some of it just things that we've learned because we've messed up. And so it's like, you don't have to do that because of the information that we're, giving you. And we also, as kind of like the third party of it all, is like, you may not be sure how to find certain things or who to talk to. And like, we know. And so we'll be able to kind of push you slightly and, and encourage you so that you can really change your life. We know that it works. We know, I mean, obviously it's God first, and that's where truly how we're doing any of these things. We talk about it every day, but we're very honored to be where we are. And I don't think that we take it for granted ever, even when it's hard.
Yeah.
Because it is hard, but it's worth it.
Access is the most important thing. You know, you don't know what you don't know, at the end of the day. And if we find out information, I learned so much from, my job. And I'm like, I'm not holding that info and just keeping it for myself. I'm not holding the light under the bushel. I want to make sure that I shine that and bring attention to it and give people access to the information they need to advance their careers. I think, it's been gatekeep too long, you know what I'm saying? And especially for people in our underserved communities. I mean, I live in New Orleans. I think they're like third from the bottom as far as education goes, especially in the STEM area.
Wow.
And so that's why it's so important for people who have made it and have broken into the tech industry. It's so much growth opportunity here. And it also just starts with the growth mindset, with your mindset shift first. Mm-hmm. Number one, your mindset has to change. That was like the number one thing for me. I had to change my mindset because I wasn't taught it. It was a learned thing. And as I started getting into these networking with these people who've been in the game at Cisco for 30 years and like gleaning from them and getting those insights, it helped my mindset to change. And I adopted that growth mindset. And then from there, I was able to take that and implement it into my life, and things started to shift and change from there. And so we want to help people first change your mindset. Then you'll be able to, because it's like, if the ground is rocky, if your mind is closed off, the seed cannot grow. The seed can't plant and take root. So you have to start there and then build from there. So,
Love it, love it, love it.
And just one more little point, really quick. I think investing, like you're investing in yourself, but when you're investing with us as well, we're gonna take everything we know. We're gonna take our network. That will also be a part of the program, right? It's not going to just be like us saying we're just the best and we know everything. It's like, who do we also know that we can bring in from our network, who are people who are far beyond where we are, so that you can just see what's possible. It's hope, right? If we don't have hope, what do we actually have?
Yeah. If we don't have hope, what do we actually have? And so, no, I definitely appreciate you all, both of you, for just sharing that. And listen, family, if you have been enjoying this conversation and you have some burning questions for our guest,
here we go.
We are going to be switching over to the Q&A side on YouTube. I love it. So go ahead and if you have not, go ahead and go to youtube.com/@Techniche tips. Again, that's youtube.com/@Techniche tips. We're going to be going to our Q&A section there and basically be chatting it up more over there regarding a few different things. So again, it's youtube.com/@Techniche tips so that we can talk about it. Before we do that, we have a word for a couple of our sponsors, but we hope to see you on that side. Sorry, LinkedIn, it's after these sponsor announcements, so we're going to be cutting it. So that means you got to come over to youtube.com/@Techniche tips in order to see more. So we'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much for watching with us. Bye. I'm back again. We talked about Course Careers Technology Sales Course and what it did to change my life. Wait, there's more. Not only is it technology, sales, information technology courses as well. Now there's human resources, customer success, UI, UX. And did I even mention that there also is software development as well? Front end, back end, and DevOps? Listen, this is something that you definitely want to take advantage of. So go ahead and click that link. Don't forget there's a discount from me if you click that link, and I hope to see you on the other side. Do you feel stuck? Do you feel like you're just at the same place in your career and you don't really see a way out? This is a great time for you to take it to the next level. Level Careers is a course that I've been talking about for some time. From account executive and even sales engineering, there are courses that can help you propel from where you are now to where you want to go. Check out the link below. Use my promo code Joseph10 and check out the free courses, whether that's the SOC analyst course, the account executive course, or the sales engineer course. Take your career to the next level. Hey, I didn't forget about you. You're a person that needs to be in a place where you are working close with someone else, a mentor, a friend, someone that could take you to the deeper and more intricate parts about being a sales engineer, but you don't know where to go. Learnful is a program that allows you to work with people that are high-ranking sales engineers, solution architects, solutions advisors, and they're able to not only mentor you, but teach you the ways to become a sales engineer that can be impactful for you. If you think that Learnful is for you, go ahead and click on the link below for more information. You can use my promo code Joseph150 to be able to save. Go ahead and click the link below. And now back to our show. And we are back, just like that. Thank you so much for all those that watch on YouTube. We love you, but this is exclusively, on LinkedIn, excuse me, but this is exclusively for the YouTube family right here. And before we get into the questions, because I have one to start off, but go ahead and put your questions in the comment section today. No call in because we got a lot going on with our guests already. But I'm going to go to this comment section right here because I thought it was really good. This comment from Chef G. He says, I love what you both are doing. We need more that care in this industry. Looking forward to seeing your company grow and help the world.
Hey, I love that.
Yeah, I love it as well.
All right, Chef G. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I love it. As people could see the thumbnail, I put SDR to tech founder. And the reason why I did that is because a lot of times when you think about getting into a job, sometimes you might lose traction of the fact that you're learning skills that can really help you to start building out things that you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. How has being an SDR for both of you helped you in regards to now pushing to basically these passion projects and pushing these out?
Go for it, Kourtney.
First of all, I love this question because people who don't know me, like I transitioned into tech and then I was part of like the mass layoffs before everything really started to get a little crazy. And that was really challenging because I was very excited. I was in a C-suite mentorship. I was like, okay, perfect. I'm ready to like take this to the, go until the wheels fall off. But obviously God had other plans and you really don't know how the things you're learning will come in handy. And so it's incredible, the things that I've learned. I do it every day. I prospect every single day. Yep. I am outreaching, cold outreach, warm outreach. I am doing those things every day. I'm dealing with no's. I know how to listen. If there's one thing I know how to do between SDRing and having a master's, I can find anything.
Yes.
Find anybody. I'll know your kids, what your favorite drinks are, like what schools they go to. I can find anything. And it's such a useful skill set. And then initially it was really challenging because I felt like, well, I'm not an SDR though. So is this a failure? Right? Is this a failure because I'm not SDRing? And I had to like really work on that mentally, the mindset part of that, and just
talk about that.
Yeah, just like redirect it. But I literally use the skills every day. Even, I do video. I love video prospecting. So I always send videos to people. Mm-hmm.
It bodes us well.
I literally use the things I learned as an SDR. I use them every single day. And the irony also is now we're actually bringing on interns who will be our SDRs. They're going to be
it's wild
and having, you know, all those skills. And it's
full
like,
circle.
It's a really incredible moment. I don't want to discount it. And I'm just overwhelmingly grateful.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. Go ahead, Nikki.
Yeah, I'll speak to that too. I work for a very large company, corporation. A lot of people know I work for Cisco, and also their acquisition Thousand Eyes. I'm actually on the sales advisory board for Thousand Eyes for the Americas. I think in addition to, yes, thank you. In addition to, you know, being in the trenches and learning those skill sets that bode us, like when we're trying to procure deals and reach out to people, having tough skin when hearing no's, all of those things. But I think what has been very, very helpful, especially, and I realized this when we went through the accelerator program, is that I am in real time learning the intricacies of a large tech startup business. I mean, a large business, tech business. Cisco's been around forever. So I'm sitting in calls where they're talking about, you know, forecasting for the sales organization and talking about KPIs and, you know, what those numbers look like and product market fit and all of those things and your TAM and, you know, all those things that they started discussing in Idea Village. And I was like, I already know this stuff. I already know this. Me and Kourtney were like, we know this already. We are ahead of the game because a lot of those people that were building these businesses had no idea about that aspect of the business. You know what I'm saying? Like, having to learn it, whereas we were doing it already every day. So we didn't have to, we're just expounding upon the knowledge we already had. But I already kind of see the structure. I already knew that once we got to a certain place, we're going to need an SDR team to, you know, start to procure these deals. And we're going to need marketing. We're going to need all these different parts of the structure of a business because I'm a part of it and I see it every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's so funny how, you know, it seems like your 9-to-5er, you know, may not, you know, it's just like a part of what you do. But those things are lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like we already have a thing. We always say we don't take L's. We learn in lessons. You know, so we take those lessons with us, and it allows for me to have a better understanding as I'm building my business on the side. And I'm also encouraged. You know, like you know, a part of one of the beautiful things about Cisco that I love is they have all of these you know, networking communities like Cisco Black Professionals, which I'm very involved in. I'm on a committee there as well. And so there's so much support. Like we have Finance Fridays where, you know, I'm able to sit in on lessons on how to, you know, make a trust and all those things that I'm going to need when I'm building my business. I need to put it into a trust to protect myself. So it's like I'm learning those things that I didn't learn in school. Okay, my parents didn't teach me, you know, but I'm learning them in this space because they have created this wonderful network of professionals that's been doing it longer than me. And they also have businesses on the side. Like everybody's has the autonomy to have this wonderful job. What's his name? Wall Street Trapper. He always says that your 9-to-5 is what is like funding your side hustles. You know what I'm saying? And I think it'll be an honor to be able to, you know, one day, I plan on staying there as long as I can, you know, to be able to one day partner with the business, the organization that I would.
Come on now.
How wonderful is that? And I know it's real and attainable because we're friends with another CEO of Ricon, and he's done that very thing with the company he was working for with Microsoft.
Wow.
We're going to talk about that, Joseph. Actually, we got plans for you, Joseph.
Yes.
Hey, from your lips to the Lord's ears.
Sidebar later.
Let's go.
So don't you know, those humble beginnings, you know, are foundational. You know what I'm saying? So look at it as that. It's just a change in perspective because that what you just put, like, I love that you put that because that's what hope is about. Like people need to see that journey. People need to see what you can accomplish. To be able to just, like, I literally worked for a hotel before I got into tech. And to be able to say that I went from that, sleeping on couches because we had went through Hurricane Ida and I was couch surfing because I couldn't live in my place because it was full of mold. You know what I'm saying? When I first started at the boot camp at SV Academy, to procuring a job at one of the biggest tech companies and just starting at the low, one of the lower levels. And then now being able to be a startup founder, a tech startup founder with this wonderful young lady, you know what I'm saying? 2 of them at that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a huge, wonderful feat. And to have done it within a year's time, that is incredible. That's a story. And people love stories. People need to hear that story.
Yeah. We definitely need to hear the challenge. I think Nikki's really good at conveying that. I started to get more comfortable, with the things that I've gone through in life. But it's like now I've gotten messages as well, from people who maybe their parents were incarcerated or, they've lost their parents in such a way, or, or were teen moms or, and it's like, it's weird when it's yours, it's strange to be like, yeah, it's like a great story, it's just your life and you live it. But when you really sit down and reflect and really look at, I need you to get out. Okay.
I love it.
Trust me, it happens to me all the time.
When you're really reflecting though, and you can look back and think, oh, wow, this is where I actually came from and what I've overcame. And that's how I know. That's how I know that God got me, because there's no way. There's just no way. The things that we've been able to do in the last year alone are like a very small testament. And daily, Nikki and I are like, what is next? Like, what is next?
I couldn't have saw it.
What is next?
You couldn't have told me that we would be where we are today. So I just know that there's, more to come, and God is just going to keep showing up, showing out. So.
Come on. I just, first of all, let me just say this, Nikki. When you started talking about all that you went through, I just felt the waters coming for myself. I was like, because sometimes when we think about it, a lot of people, even in this chat, I see the chat I see a lot of viewership, and the chat has gotten quiet because people are taking it in right now. And I'm taking it in right now because if we all take a moment to pause and reflect on where we were, what we've been through to where we are now. It's emotional for us all, and so one of the things I just want to just encourage y'all listening in on this conversation is like what was just said. Those humble beginnings, don't despise that, because they can be used and they will be used for the future. I remember, there were moments where I was working a certain job, and I love that job to this day, but it was a grind mentality, and it was like boom, 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 and I had to be on the phones a lot. And I think back now, especially in the role that I am right now, and how much value that brought to me being in this particular role. And even the relationships I made then, how much value it is to me now. It's just overwhelming, because it's like, okay, God, I really thought I had it. I really thought I was able to weave all these things together, but there was a master involved the whole time, and it was you. I take off my hat because I couldn't orchestrate it better than you did. But there's people that you never know what could come out of this conversation, who's listening in, which C-suite somewhere that we don't even know about, including myself, might be listening in and say, you know what? These women are trying to actually help people that are youth that are going the wrong path, those that are coming out of incarceration, helping them transition over into an industry that can help them, helping people that have children with various needs, specifically autism in this case, but other neurodiversity needs. And I want to support that. And the 2 words I thought about was executive sponsor. Y'all need an executive sponsor who not only can come in there, provide a level of mentorship, but literally sponsor by opening those doors. And to the revenue that you need, the income and the investments that you need, and also to the other things as well. And so I really love it. I wanted to just open up the floor to anybody else who has any questions, for the, I mean, like I told you before, Nikki and Kourtney, they're like having a moment of like reflection right now, because I see the viewership, it's up there. I just know that they have a lot of people reflecting right now. But if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I'll bring it up and we could definitely chat about it and talk about it. But yeah, while people are putting up their questions, I want to kind of go to something that we talked about earlier. It is a call to action, right? A lot of people are going to be want to know how they could support. And for those that might have missed it earlier, you talked about they could email at info@hopedealers.io. Is that the one that they could email at?
Mm-hmm.
info@hopedealers.io.
Okay, let me put it up.
Subject Hope 2024.
Yes.
Hope 2024.
That's the promo code. We'll send over the link.
Yeah, we can send you a promo code, or if you just want to shoot us an email and ask us a question.
Ask questions and have interest in the course. As soon as it's live, we'll be able to send out information and a link for that so they can register.
And then you'll get that 30-minute. You get a 30-minute call with whoever you choose to have a call with, Nikki or I.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So yeah, email info@hopedealers.io. Definitely get a chance to email that there as you can. Also, Hope Dealers are on IG, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So everywhere where social media is sold, it is hopedealers.io. And also about the missing piece. I believe that, like we said before, they could literally go to that webpage and they should be able to pretty much support there as well, right? If they go to the missing piece, they could go right here.
missingpieceapp.com.
Yeah. They could share
it. Again, the same thing with, the same things kind of apply. There's a lot of overlap with Hope Dealers and Missing Piece. So if investors, if either nonprofits that have similar missions, or autism service providers, doctors, organizations, or somebody who is a software developer and builds, and they're like, I love this mission, I would love to be a part of it. And are looking for equity, because that's what we would be offering at this stage, is equity. So there's more than one way that if you want to support us, that you can. And those are just a few.
All right, perfect. Right. Well, listen here. You mentioned it earlier, Nikki, that you do have a place that you want to be as well. I want to be very sensitive to that. So I'm gonna take some time to wrap it up here. But yes, listen, y'all know how to get in contact with them.
Find us on LinkedIn for sure. Shoot us a message, and we'll be sure to get back to you, or email us right there. It's on there. So this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for having us, Joseph, Brother Joe. We appreciate you, and we definitely have something exciting to chat with you about. So be looking out for that soon.
2024 is already shaping up to be a very, very interesting year for me. So I'm excited to all the things that God is providing at this particular time. But thank y'all as well for coming, Nikki and Kourtney. This has been a blast. I've been looking forward to this since last year when we first started talking about this. And everybody else that's been tuning in with us, I just want to say a special thank you as well. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate to thank you all for this. And we're glad to be able to do this 2024, Marquis says. Go all the way to the moon with that. That's right. Rocket ship to the moon. And so again, thank y'all audience for supporting. I really appreciate that. I would love for us to get right now we're in January. What is it, the 13th? I would love to us to get to 2,000 subscribers. We're not that far away, y'all. So if you all have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. What it does, it tells the algorithm that people actually like to see these stories, and it pushes out even more. It's less of a vanity thing for me. It's all about getting the message out. And so I just want to say thank you so much. You're getting a lot of see. I was telling you they're reflecting. The messages are coming in now. Darcel says thank you for another great one. I love the stories and it resonates with me heavy. I have a sister that has special needs and would love to look more into resources y'all have. This is excellent. This is excellent. Marquis said this was good with 2 exclamation points. And thank you for all support. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely connect with Hope Dealers on their YouTube page as well. Subscribe to it now. They're going to be adding more content in the future, so you don't want to forget to do that. And as Operation Tech Takeover says, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast as well.
Hey, there we go.
Right? We're on Apple, we're on wherever podcasts are sold, we're there. So definitely want to check in with that. But like I said, thank y'all so much. And until next time, myself, Nikki, and Kourtney, we hope to see you on the other side. Take care, family.
Thank you. Bye.